Oh, it's you. Come on in. Welcome to the Scumm Bar.
Welcome to Scumm Bar Podcast, episode 71, where we talk movies, video games, pop culture, books, Cookie Monster, and everything in between. I'm your host, Mattbrush, and with me today is the cookie-munching monster himself.
Cookie. Cookie. I forgot how he sounds. Anyway, it's
I think
Anth0z.
it's pretty accurate. That's actually not bad.
I mean, he actually talks. Like, he doesn't just say cookie. But,
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty good.
He's kind of grumbly in a way. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what he does? He eats cookies?
Yes.
That's his function? Eat cookie.
I guess so. Also, I just am now trying to visualize how a hand, because there's no teeth, right? It's just a flat hand that's just
I think it just crumbles it. Like the cookies all crumble. They're probably really dry cookies.
Very dry, very soft. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Anyways, hi Anth0z, how you doing?
I'm better just thinking about a hand munching on cookies.
There's something about like Muppets or puppet animatronics and stuff, or hand animatronics, I bet you they call them.
Yeah.
There's just something about it that's just so funny to me. But sometimes when I just see the eyes, like they're always so wide-eyed, and like the puppet hand just slowly moving while the eyes are just like,
yeah.
like there's something so funny about it. I laugh so hard.
I've always enjoyed, like, because you know how like the thumb is the only under part, like for the mouth, it's like four fingers and one thumb, and so sometimes the thumb will be like a little bit off.
Oh,
and
I know.
So when you see like they're making kind of like a smirk face,
like nervous or smirk,
it looks really funny. I've always loved that, especially
Kermit's nervous face is hilarious.
Yeah, it looks really funny.
My dog Kova actually has. This is a good segue too into our life segment here.
Okay.
My dog Kova has a Kermit face that she does every now and then, so we call her Kermie every now and then. Anyway, so Kova has recently, my dog, my Australian cattle dog, Kova, we were building a shed, as you know. And typically when you ask me what's new, I'm almost always talking about how we're building the shed or something to do with Kova. Now, both stories are related.
Oh.
Wow. So for one, we actually have a roof on the shed now. It looks fantastic. I love it.
And Kova put it together.
She did it all for us. It was fantastic. Yeah, that's why we got this dog, actually, because she builds things for us in the night.
Australian carpenter.
I wish. So we have a roof on it now, and the shed's looking really, really good, so I'm really proud of it. Underneath the doorway of the shed, though, we've got this little, like, metal... There's a drip edge, I guess, on the shed, so it just, for when water hits it, it comes off the shed. Yeah. But the drip edge came up a little bit into the doorway. So there's when you right now if you step on the doorway frame, you're kind of stepping on metal as well. Okay, it's not that big of a deal though. You have shoes on when you're doing it. But anyways, my dog decided to jump up and land on that metal piece. It was our fault. We should have thought about this beforehand, but we didn't see it coming, and she just happened to hit it in the wrong way and cut open her foot. Yeah, so it was pretty bad. Luckily, the saving grace is that it happened higher up on her foot. So dog paws, they've got the main dog paw, and they've got another toe that's quite high up on the foot. This cut is just below the toe there on the high up portion. So it's not like when she presses down, she's on the cut. So luckily, it's not an area that's really affecting her all that much. It is annoying, obviously, for her. I'm sure it's frustrating, but it's not that bad. The cut is quite deep, though, so it's quite a serious cut. So we got her to the vet, and we did the whole thing, and they've got it all... They made sure it was done all right and disinfected and whatnot, and then bandaged up, and then she's on her medication right now. And so that was a week ago, I think. It was about a week ago. So we've been bandaging it ever since, and we have to rebandage it every couple days. And so we have a little ritual where we were actually just doing it just before the podcast here, and I have to hold a little like bully stick. They're like little meat sticks. And I hold the stick, and she eats that stick while my fiance is like redoing the bandage on the other foot. So
I was gonna ask, but that must be pretty difficult to get a dog to stay still so you can rewrap.
It took us 45 minutes of me holding Kova and my fiance trying to redo the bandages. Yeah. Until we finally decided this other method of like we'll just use the stick and distract her with that, and that works way better. When I was holding her, she was getting way too stressed out, and like we were stressing her out because we were getting stressed out. So it just made it so much worse. Anyway, so we've been dealing with that. Luckily, everything's totally fine. She's fine. She's healing really well, and the only thing is that she's just not getting as much exercise as she normally gets, so she's getting a little bit crazy. But she's healing well, and life is fine, and we learned a lesson out of the whole thing. But that's just what's going on my side. So.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my life story.
Hope she recovers very quickly. Because that sounds sucks. That sucks for a little dog to go through.
It does. But she's fine. She's got good owners. So
I think so. I think so too.
Owners that may have put her in the position where she's in already anyways, but also the same owners that put her in a very good quality of life. So
yes, I agree.
Anyways, what's new with you? And
what is new with me? Started watching a couple different shows. So we're still going through Parks and Rec.
Oh, nice. I gotta watch that.
We're in I think we're season 6 now, and I think there might be only 7 seasons. So we're getting towards the end.
Interesting.
We also started watching The Handmaid's Tale, so we're a few episodes into that.
I haven't seen that either. I've heard that it's very good though.
It is good. It's not at all what I thought it was going to be. I think because whenever I saw commercials or trailers or whatever, it just seemed like I thought it took place in medieval times based on the outfits.
Oh, really?
But it's not at all.
No, it's like an alternate reality, is it not?
I don't know. Oh, I guess I don't know if it's alternate reality per se.
Like it's trying to be it's trying to be like modern day, but it's as if it's an alternate kind of reality of modern day.
Yeah. So I guess it is alternate
if the world
reality.
Was a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still in today's time, yeah.
Yeah. So, watching that, and then also started watching Dark on Netflix.
Oh, that's another one I heard is really, really good.
And it is really good. We're both really into that. We just want to keep watching whenever we get the chance. So let's see, the first day we started watching a couple of days back. I think we just watched 5 episodes in one day, and we just finished watching season 1 today.
Yeah.
So did we start season 2? We also started season 2 today as well. So
of Dark?
Of Dark. Yeah, I believe there's 3 available, maybe. And it's cool. It's a little difficult to follow. Oh, mind you, okay, we're also watching it in English dub. I didn't realize when we started playing it that I could have switched back to having it in German audio, original audio is German, and then having
it German or Russian? I thought it was Russian for some reason.
Oh, is it Russian?
I think it's Russian. I could be wrong there, but for some reason,
sorry.
When I see Dark, I was thinking it was Russian.
Maybe it is, yeah. This whole time I thought it was German. Anyway, so, but we just watched it with English dub, so we're kind of just used to that now. And, so it can get a little bit difficult to follow. Maybe because there's a lot of names that are just tossed out there, and also names that we're not used to hearing. If we hear the name Mike, it's easier for us to associate, okay, Mike. Where if you hear the name Bartosz, it is sure it's unique, but it's also wait, what's Bartosz? What does a Bartosz look like? Kind of thing. For me, it's hard to associate and remember all the characters, and there's a lot of characters. Otherwise, it's a very fun show to watch. So I would recommend it.
I heard the same thing. I heard the season 2 is really it did so well that it bolstered up how many people really want to watch it. And so my fiance was told after season 2 she was told you have to watch this show. So now she told me, and now we're waiting to watch it at some point.
Well, why wait? Watch it now.
Well, we've got
you don't need to record this podcast.
We've got this other series called the Marvel Movie Marathon that you and I are trying to get through, and that just takes up so much movie watching time that it's my gosh.
It does.
Suddenly we have to watch Iron Man 3, and then we got to watch Thor Dark World. And it's I'm just pulled in all these different directions.
Who's got time for all those movies?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No. Ain't nobody got time for that. No.
All right, Anth0z, let's move into a segment I like to call Ye Old News.
Ye Old News.
Errors?
Yes.
I'm gonna start off Ye Old News.
Ooh.
For once in my life, I got something to say.
Wait, that was different. Was that 2 different songs in one?
I don't know. I was
because it started off with a Stevie Wonder song, wasn't it?
What was
For once in my life, I have someone who needs me.
Yeah, that song. Yeah.
But then you went lower, and I'm like,
I was doing the ending of it though.
Oh, okay.
Because you were gonna keep going, but no, mine was like, for once in my life, I got someone who needs me.
I see the
like
resolve.
At the end.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Anyways, my news. First thing I just want to say, this came out of nowhere. I was checking my emails, and there was an email from Cineplex, our movie theater thing, and it was like, "Have you checked out this new Russell Crowe movie called Unhinged?" And I was like, I don't know. I didn't know what this was. So I was like,
they
okay.
adapted off of our podcast episodes.
Oh no!
Unhinged?
I didn't even think about that, but that makes so much sense. This dude is me. But no, it was really funny. I watched a trailer, and I didn't really know what I was watching. This won't make much sense without the context, but the trailer is, it's about a guy who gets road rage, and then he's like the serial killer villain / guy who's like, chasing this family. It's a woman, it looks like, and her 2 kids, I think, or maybe just her son. Yeah. And it's a really cheesy premise for some horror movie, but it was like they made it seem like it was like this big professional AAA box office hit, and the trailer started off and I didn't understand what was going on. Like, I didn't understand how he was the villain. Like, she is in a car pileup thing. Okay. Whatever that's called, the traffic on the highway, and then she pulls up her car and there's this big massive truck in front of her, right? And the truck's not moving. So then she gets all mad, and I believe she does like a massive horn honk and like is really like aggressive with it. Yeah. And then she pulls around him and then like aggressively kind of just like, veers in front and out of the way and gets out of harm's way, right? Well, Mr. Trucker Dude didn't like that. So later on down the highway, she's now stuck in gridlock, and he ends up pulling up next to her. Yeah. And the things he says are really interesting, because he's like, "Hello, ma'am." He's like, "I'm sorry about that back there," kind of thing. He's like, "Just so you know," he's like, "a courtesy honk." He's like, in a situation like that, it's just like a beep beep kind of thing. He's like, "It's all you got to do." And then she's just like, ignore him, like to her son and stuff. And I was like, yeah. That's interesting. Like, he's being very polite. And then he says something like, he's like, "Also, I apologize. Like, I am having a bad day." He's like, "That was just a bad moment there," and blah, blah, blah. And he just kind of like, he's really rational, which is very interesting for me. Yeah. And then she's like, "I'm not apologizing." Like, she gets very like aggressive to him still. Yeah. And then it just flips. Like, he just then suddenly turns into this like villain. Like, he starts ramming her. Then the trailer like goes further, and apparently he finds like her home address and all this stuff. What the? And I was like, wait, it's so weird, because it starts off where he's actually like a very normal person, and it flips on a dime, and he's suddenly just this serial killer guy. Wow. Anyways. That's my news for the moment, is that I saw this trailer to the weirdest looking horror movie with Russell Crowe coming out.
And that scene that you just... Okay, so that trailer, I haven't seen it, but like what you just described, that sounds very familiar. Yes, I have. Mentally. Yeah. That sounds very familiar to me. Like, what's the movie... is it Paul Walker or like Josh Hartnett? I remember that there's like this trucker who... like would call people like on the I guess like the truck. Actually, no, he would find some way to like call people on radio frequencies. And I remember him like as he calls people, or as he's trying to get their attention, he calls them candy cane, or he says candy cane, and he goes candy cane. And it's like some trucker who was kind of wronged in the way that you're describing, and then all of a sudden comes back and like kills them all. I gotta find out what that is. Oh,
this is totally off topic, but there is a Stephen King movie. Well, actually, it's a book, Total Overdrive, I think it's called. Okay. Maximum Overdrive, maybe. And it's about semi trucks that turn to life. They now can they are sentient semi trucks, and they start like killing people. And so they start chasing people down a highway and stuff. I think one of them is the ghost of like a trucker that died or something. So maybe he whispers something to people. I don't know, but that's interesting. Also
okay, I found it. So the movie's called Joyride, and it's with Paul Walker.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Let's see. Joyride is a 2001 American road mystery thriller film directed by John Dahl and written by J.J. I get it. Yeah, I had no idea that was even
road mystery thriller film. Oh yeah, one of those road mystery thrillers. See this all the time. Marvel did one.
And yeah. And written by J.J. Abrams and Clay Tarver. Paul Walker stars as Lewis Thomas, a college freshman embarking on a cross-country road trip during summer break to pick up his childhood crush, Venna, played by Lily Sobieski. Along for the ride is Lewis's brother Fuller, Steve Zahn, a practical joker who uses the car's CB radio to play a cruel prank on a trucker, known only by the handle Rusty Nail. the victim of Fuller's gag, a psychotic murderer pursues them relentlessly to get revenge at any cost. I don't know.
Yeah,
Something about that just reminded me of that.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
it's a very similar plot.
So Joyride. If you're not into Russell Crowe, but you want to watch the same concept of a movie, you can probably watch Joyride, I guess.
Probably.
Maybe.
I will admit, Russell Crowe has a very interesting accent in this. It's very American. And it's just, I realized that you don't really hear Russell Crowe have an American accent almost ever.
Oh.
Maybe a Beautiful Mind.
A Beautiful
actually.
Mind, yeah.
Yeah. Or Cinderella Story, I guess he's probably also quite American in that, now that I think about
Yeah,
it. I just,
yeah.
for some reason, when I picture Russell Crowe, I hear like Australian, or I hear like a different, I totally don't hear the American Russell Crowe.
Right.
But hearing him in this, he had this very good American accent. I was like, oh yeah, he is a good actor. But it was in a horrible looking movie.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Anyways, watch the trailer if you ever have time. It's funny, so check it out.
right.
Anth0z, what do you got for news?
A couple things. Okay, well, I should have maybe just mentioned this earlier. It's kind of hard to explain to the audience, but okay, so I'm going to send you... I'll send it while I explain what it is.
Okay.
And you used to watch the Animaniacs show, right?
The Animaniacs. Yeah.
Okay, so you did. Good. I'm going to send you this. So there is currently... Okay, I'll preface by saying that there's this one clip where Wacko Yakko and Dot, which is the tallest one? Yakko?
I don't know their
Wacko.
names. I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, so there's a clip where one of the Animaniacs is going through all of the countries of the world.
Yeah.
And it's in song form. It's Yakko. So he sings. It's I can't remember what the tune is called, but it's da 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 da.
Oh yeah.
So he sings like every country of the world to that song, and that's what this clip is. It's like a 2-minute clip.
Yeah.
So recently, I guess somebody edited it so that it is it's a different version, and the version is what countries that American citizens are allowed to enter right now. So
weird.
Yeah. So basically, it's just edited to be just the countries listed like that. So if you watch it, so you can probably just look it up. Like I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, like Yakko Animaniacs Nations of the World America COVID or something like that. I don't know. I found it on Facebook. But instead of going like country by country, like hearing the words, he mentions like 3 of the whole like 2-minute clip, because like everywhere else you just can't go. I feel like it's edited well.
He's just dancing everywhere.
He's just like bobbing up and down. So,
that is like, very funny. That's the succession of how you have to watch it.
Yeah,
you have to watch.
The original.
First. Yeah.
So okay, so the original. If you find there's one where it has lyrics, like it's like karaoke. So the first countries you see are United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru. But then in this version, it's just United States, Mexico, Dominican Republic, and it's just a whole bunch of blanks.
Dances.
It's just bobbing up and down.
It looks hilarious.
It's so funny. It's so well done.
Wow,
that's a good use of time.
Yeah, I don't know who thought of. How do you think of that?
It's just like the person who put together the. Remember, I mentioned a long time ago or a while back that person who he has the timestamps for every single scene in chronological order for the whole MCU.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's a lot of time in your hands.
People are just very ingenious.
I mean, at least they're using that time for something. It's not like they're just sitting there doing nothing. They're at least doing something. Like it's creative at the very least, which is great.
Yeah.
I've got more news. We've got
Disney
just ended the 20th Century Fox brand.
Oh. So are they 21st now?
I don't know. I actually, that's a good point. I actually don't know much more to the news. I'm just reading the headline. I'm pulling an Anth0z here and I'm reading the headline. But they ended the 20th Century Fox brand. That would make sense if it's the 21st century. Something weird like that.
I guess it would.
It could be.
Maybe.
Or actually, it depends. Well, see, actually, I think it's a move by Disney so that they can just put Disney on everything that Disney makes instead of saying it's by Fox, because they bought Fox and then they now are throwing Fox stuff onto the Disney Plus platform. Well, ever since Disney Plus has been out. So I took it at first as in they're just not going to have 20th Century Fox on anything anymore. And that's totally closed now. But they could do 21st Century, I guess.
Yeah, why not? Or Disney Century.
This is pretty much what people feared the most, though, when Disney was making Disney Plus. is they feared that they would buy up all these things and then close them down, so we wouldn't have them anymore. And
I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it might happen. We'll see.
In addition to Disney, or sorry, is that it for that aspect? Cool.
That's it for that.
I will. What's the word? I will lateral off that. I will hand off. I will take your hand off.
Okay.
I will piggyback. Is that? I think that's. I'll piggyback off. But there we go. I will piggyback. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Perfect.
Nailed it.
I'll edit it so that sounded perfect.
Great. So Disney has decided to do a quote unquote theatrical release on Disney Plus of Mulan.
Oh, so it's gonna release on Disney Plus at a certain time?
Yeah, a certain day. September. Oh, sorry. So it was supposed to debut on August 24th, although it was also supposed to debut back in May.
Wow.
And now it's going to be going straight to Disney Plus by September 4th, but for an additional fee. So even if you have the Disney Plus subscription, you'll have to pay additionally to watch this. And
wow.
I don't think they've gone over details of if it's going to be like a one-time screening only, as if they're going to mimic the movie-going experience, or do you get it for 24 hours, kind of like a pay-per-view experience. We don't know yet. I guess we'll hear more when it gets closer to it. But these are the prices. For US, it's going to be $30. And actually, well, I guess this is just like an estimate, but it's going to be about $40 Canadian, supposedly, if it's a $30 US release. So that means even if you have Disney Plus, if you want to watch it at home in Canada, you would have to pay roughly $40 Canadian. Now, the plus side is like you get to watch it sooner than later. You can technically split that with a whole bunch of people. Like you can have 10 people watching it at home together if you want to, and it's worth about $4 each person. You get the comfort of being in your own home. You can have whatever food you want. So that's kind of like the plus side. You know, and there's only so much that we expect companies like this to do, because nobody wants to have a theatrical release, like a true theatrical release, when during COVID you're not going to get the box office numbers that you normally would. Right. I think maybe a lot of the companies, production companies, are going, well, they rely on that because they need to get them money to pay back all of their all of their crew, all the cast members and everything, and maybe also like pay off like a marketing and pay off whatever it took to actually produce and film the movie. So I don't know, it's up and down whether it's kind of like good or bad. I think it really just depends on the person, right? Like if you're just the kind of person who says like, sure, yeah, like I don't mind splitting this amount with some people and watching it, great. Or I would rather wait to see this in theaters for the first time, then you might have to wait longer. We don't even know if it's still going to get a theatrical release. Yeah.
I mean, I think they're not forcing anyone to buy Mulan or to spend more money, which is totally fine. And also, I don't think I'm sure that no one bought Disney Plus specifically for Mulan. Yeah. So I don't think anyone is upset by this. Like, I don't see how somebody could be upset by this other than the price. But again, no one's forcing you to. You could just wait. So
yeah, exactly. You could just wait.
So there's nothing to be mad about unless you wanted something that isn't very realistic anyways, which is just getting Mulan for no additional cost. So that means that you are hoping to benefit off of the fact that theaters are closed, which means that Disney's dollar. And I mean, I don't know, if you're mad about that, then sorry, you don't just get free stuff. So
yeah. And so I guess because of that, it's kind of expected that other streaming services might like see how it works out for Disney before they implement some sort of similar strategy. So I guess Disney's, I don't know, they have the budget, I guess. Like they've got zillions and cajillions and whatever Disneylions worth of dollars behind them that I think they can experiment with this, and then let's see how it goes. I guess. But
it's funny, in our very first episode of this podcast back in 2018, we mentioned this. We talked about this, and also in episode 6, the Disney Services one, we talked about it there too. But it's funny, back then we kind of predicted what was it going to be like for the future with streaming services with Disney. And I had mentioned back in the day that I thought, for one, that theaters were going to be just Disney-only theaters at some point. I mentioned that at some point, Disney's going to own every property in it, and you would actually go to a Disney theater to see movies. And Disney will own the theater, so they'll pay for all the costs of the theaters and all that kind of stuff too. So it'll be a fun experience too, and people will enjoy it.
Yeah.
but it'll just be like only Disney properties. That's almost what we're at now. But I also mentioned how the theater experience is going to be a thing of the past at some point. And at some point, we will be telling like our kids, for example, that, oh, we used to go to a movie theater and we'd watch movies. And they'd be like, oh, weird. Like, people were sitting around you, like people you didn't know. And you'd be like, yeah, just strangers be around you when you watched a movie. Like,
Yeah.
So we talked about it way back then. It's funny how that here we are. It's actually starting to happen. Now, it is because of a pandemic, but it also could be the trigger that starts this next wave where maybe the movie theater experience is about to die off. Unfortunately, I don't want it to. I love it. When you and I went and saw Transformers at that one local theater, sorry, the
Rio
80s,
theater.
but we saw the 80s Transformers movie.
Yeah.
That was like fantastic.
The good one.
Like, I never want that to die off, and I don't think that ever will, but it's just, I also like the modern day seeing when a movie first releases and going to the theater to see it. I still like that experience a lot. So.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the things I miss the most out of COVID is going and seeing movies. It's weird, but going to the movie theater I didn't realize I liked so much.
I think about it. Yeah, I think about that frequently, wanting to go into a theater and watch a new movie, but can't.
And I only saw 2 movies in 2019. I only went to the theater twice. So it's not like I'm doing it every month or anything. But that being said, now that I can't have it, it's bowling and the movie theater. Out of all things, that's what I miss the most is bowling and going to the movie theater.
Yeah. What movies did you watch in 2019?
It was Endgame.
Yeah.
That was one of them. Yeah. And Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
2 Disney movies.
Right. Yeah. So you pretty much already had your Disney theater experience.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It feels like everything is already just Disney for me, at least.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 that I felt like I had to see no matter what in theaters because it was reactionary.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because I need the theater experience. It was more like I need to be up in the times of what the movie is, I guess.
Yeah.
Everything else I was like, I will watch at a later time. And then I never ended up watching, actually. Pretty bad at keeping up with movies these days. Okay, well...
I do have some more news if we want.
Okay. Yeah, I've got a little bit more. I've got some video game stuff here. Nothing too big. We don't really know what it is yet, but Doom Eternal is getting its first DLC.
Oh, cool.
So this is going to be really cool. I'm really interested to see what this is because there was no like storyline DLC for the first Doom game, but Doom Eternal, they're promising storyline DLC, and this is the first one. So it's called Ancient Gods, and the full reveal trailer is going to be happening on my birthday, actually, on August 27th.
Ooh.
So it's going to be kind of cool, kind of fun. I'll stay up and watch and see what Doom's got to offer. But I'm just really excited to see where the storyline's going. I won't spoil Doom Eternal for anybody out there, but it's really unique for Doom because Doom's never really been about story. It's mostly been about the gameplay, and then there's like little bits of story kind of strewn in there. But this one, Doom Eternal, had like story on the front as well. It was all about story. So it's really interesting to see where they might go with the DLC because everything that they throw at you could just radically change how we view all the other Doom games, or us Doom fans at least. So I'm excited to see where it goes, and yeah, we'll see.
Cool. I can piggyback off that with more game stuff.
Oh,
you're
so good at piggybacking.
I'm
You're
just
like Luke Skywalker on Endor. My bad.
Did he on Endor? Like
on Endor, he had to
on the speeder.
Oh no, sorry. Oh my gosh, my Star Wars knowledge is awful.
In Hoth?
No, on Dagobah when he's got Yoda as a backpack.
Oh yeah. Right. Okay, right.
I'm horrible with Star Wars trivia apparently.
Me too. Okay, so Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 has started development. So the first remake one.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, I forgot.
Ended on a cliffhanger. So it's a multi-part video game. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And I don't know if any details other than that have been laid out yet, but at least it's in full development. So that means it's on its way to being ready for people to play.
Ooh.
At some point.
Ready.
Some point in the future. And I have I guess those were kind of like my main ones. I got a couple other
we
news
got time. I don't have like the largest topic in the world anyway, so it'll be interesting to talk about, but we don't need all that much time to talk about it. So
okay, well this one I feel like maybe you could give a little bit more input on it, but for Castlevania Season 4, although it was renewed, Warren Ellis apparently is out for participating in Castlevania. So Warren Ellis is he the director? Writer, I think. Warren Ellis, Castlevania. Warren Ellis is a British writer. He wrote all episodes of the Castlevania animated series. So he wrote all of them. And So he's out because apparently there have been a whole bunch of sexual harassment allegations towards him. He denies them all, but I think just to be safe, all companies or partners or employers that have hired him have cut ties. I think just to be safe. So yeah, I guess that means that in terms of how Castlevania is portrayed from season 4 going forward, it could be effectively very different. So I don't know, like for you watching the first, how much of it have you watched actually?
Still only made the first season. I loved the first season. I saw the first episode, season 2, I believe. Okay. Yes, I did. Yeah.
So and in terms of that, I can't remember, like you felt that it did a good job of portraying, just like maybe I guess like some of the notions that you get from the video games, right?
Yeah, I think so, because it doesn't try to retell the story of the later video games or one of the ones that has more story on the forefront. It's trying to just tell you one of the older ones and capture the feel of the older games. And I think they do a really good job with it. The aesthetic is good. It's a mature like rating, and the music is definitely just like full frontal. It's amazing. It's just it's like just crazy. And then you got Dracula, who just he's like popping on screen when you watch him. He's also very sympathetic in the anime, which I think is very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It just really well done. I enjoy the motif and everything they did there. So.
Well, if you end up watching season 2 and 3 and you like them, I guess it's gonna change by season 4. So don't bother liking them. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, honestly, it's probably not that horrible of a thing. If the guy was tied to it, then there was a lot of reactionary stuff after the first Castlevania anime episode season, and maybe it got to his head. I don't know. I haven't seen season 2 or 3 all that much. So maybe it did, or maybe he got complacent or something. But it's not a bad idea to switch up your creative talents when you're doing this kind of stuff. So it could work out better for the show for sure.
Yeah, that's very true. It could. I don't know if they mentioned who they're going to get on board to replace him, but maybe that'll be revealed sooner than later, I assume. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What else do you have for news?
I forgot to mention that there's a new Crash Bandicoot game coming out. It's called Crash 4. Like they're actually going to make like a Crash Bandicoot 4 for PlayStation. Released for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 respectively. And it's going to be called It's About Time, which I like. Okay. Because it's been a long time since the Crash game has actually come out, so.
Wait, I thought.
Yeah.
What didn't they? What am I thinking of? I thought that they had released one recently, or there was
a Crash Bandicoot trilogy. They redid the original Crash Bandicoot trilogy from the original games, and they kind of redid it with nicer graphics and stuff and put it onto the PlayStation, and it was actually a good seller. A lot of people bought it, so.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just nice to see that Crash is coming out on PlayStation 4. That's just it's like a bigger news article from not that long ago, and it's just been a while since we've done one of these podcasts, so just catching up on that. Actually, a few other things too is Ghosts of Tsushima came out and released. That was a big one. It's been a big hit. People have been enjoying that.
Oh man, I see so many people playing that game. Like a lot of my friends have been playing it. I really want to play it. I actually watched a friend of mine play a little bit, and like we saw some of it in the trailers too, like just how beautiful the world is, right?
Yeah.
And I can't remember if they showed this in the trailers, but so my friend was showing me how you can change so many aspects of the environment while you're playing it. So you can just you can change I think you can change like the wind, like maybe the direction or the speed of it, the intensity of it. You can change like the sky, like the scenery. I guess whether the sky is clear or cloudy or night or day. I think there's just a whole bunch of stuff you can change, and it just probably impacts, like, I don't know if it impacts the story specifically, but it impacts your experience as you're going from like town to town and traveling around.
I can't remember the wording for it, but there's a word for it. But the game has very minimal UI or GUI, so there's not like a HUD or anything like that. There's no mini map or anything. It's the game's environment is trying to show you where to go using the environment. So they're allowing you to tweak the environment because like the wind might blow a certain direction, and that tells you to then move your character that way, and you might get something interesting out of it.
Oh, cool.
So instead of like being like, let's look at a map the whole time, which is a unique idea, and I like that because for being actually, what is the setting? I was gonna say feudal Japan.
Feudal Japan.
Is it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's when the
because then I was thinking, I was like, I guess it could have been ancient China, but I don't actually know. But it's just like it's got to be feudal Japan. Okay,
yeah. Feudal Japan when Mongolians are invading.
Okay, good. That's a good time period. And apparently, actually, so this is an American studio, Sucker Punch, that makes it. And sorry, I'm just brain farting here, but it is Sucker Punch, right? The guys that make Sly Cooper.
Let's take a look.
Sucker Punch. Oh, I'm gonna hate myself when I see I'm right.
Ghosts of Tsushima. Tsushima.
Yeah, Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And Sony. Yeah.
Anyways, yes, they make Sly Cooper. So the American studio, and apparently they had the Japanese game directors, like the more popular ones over from Sony and stuff, being like, yeah, this is a good game, like you guys did it well. It's probably kind of interesting. You see a lot of Japanese people who are praising American style things and being like, yeah, like, and then maybe sometimes trying to recreate American style things. We see a lot of Japanese games that take place in like New York, for example, and they try to recreate that experience. Persona 5 is an interesting one that kind of tries stuff like that.
Actually, yeah, my friend did mention that some, I think maybe Japanese war vets were, or soldiers, I think he said vets, were maybe interviewed on some of the mechanics of like the sword fighting or and stuff like that, and yeah, they said it was really well done.
It's apparently very accurate, and it's just they just said that there's not many games in that era anyways, but it's nice to see it, and it was handled very well, so I like that. I think that's cool. And coming off of Last of Us 2, a lot of the fans right now for PlayStation games, at least, I feel like they felt maybe a little bit depressed after Last of Us 2, maybe a little bit sad. And this game it's not necessarily just an uplifting and happy game. It's definitely more about war, but it's just nice to kind of take people to like somewhere else where it can be a little bit more uplifting than something as dark as Last of Us 2. So
I actually watched a video of Dumpkey, like he made
I watched that as well,
video. Oh man, that was super fun.
Yeah, Video Game Donkey. That's a very good YouTube channel for anybody who hasn't seen it. Definitely watch that. He briefly shows you games for like 6 minutes or so in like a montage like format. Yeah, it's really funny. Just the stuff he does, it ends up being really good.
It's really well done. It's not like he's trying to guide you through like the gameplay of it, but it's just like
it just highlights good moments of it.
It's like funny moments too. I find that it's mainly funny moments. He just like there's that one scene where he's trying over and over again to kick a bad guy like off the cliff, but then I guess the environment, like, it's not allowing him to do so, and then he finally makes it happen. And then while the bad guy's like falling in midair, he takes out his bow and shoots him at the falling, like the midair bad guy,
just for
and
fun.
hits him. But then as soon as he hits him with the arrow, he comes flying back to the ground. So he went away from his character and then came back. It was just really,
it made no
really
sense.
Weird. So funny stuff like that.
A little bit more PlayStation news, not a huge deal, but I saw this the other day, and I was excited by it, so maybe some of the fans might be as well, as that Cuphead is now on PlayStation 4. The game Cuphead was at Xbox exclusive for a long time. But it was actually a PC game as well. It was PC and Xbox, but still, it was an Xbox Microsoft product for a long time there. Very interesting game based on the old like cartoons. I want to say 20s, but it's probably like 20s up to like 50s of cartoons. Kind of like pre-Mickey Mouse kind of style.
It kind of reminds me of Steamboat Willie cartoon.
Yeah, it kind of Steamboat Willie-esque. There is a name for it. I just can't remember what it is, but it's that specific style of animation. Anyways, this is kind of like a Contra-style shooter where you're kind of like going after major bosses and shooting them with like your little pea shooter, but you get upgrades and stuff to make your pea shooter better. And then actually in this game there is no upgrade. Sorry, scratch that. There's a dodge mechanic. And use a
you
dodge
go from
to your
cup
advantage.
to glass.
Cup Boy and Mughead, I think, are the two characters.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And so it's a co-op shooter that you can play, but it's very fun. But the game is just praised like crazy for its animation and art style. It's insane. If you're not even into video games but you're into animation, it's a game to check out. If you're not even into animation but you're into music, check this game out. There's so many aspects of this game that's just incredible.
If you're just into cups, just check it out.
Yeah, that's true. There's many different cups.
Yeah.
But if you are curious at all about it, like, I swear, just watch like a minute video of this game running, and it just looks so pretty. It's awesome. I love it. So.
Actually does look really cool. Man, it looks like I'm watching a video of it right now, and so the foreground is a little bit more clear and vibrant, while the background is, and it looks like you're watching it on VHS. You get those little like lines and little flakes.
It is crazy. Like, it's a very, very difficult game, so a lot of people pick it up, get frustrated, and stop playing. But if you want to just watch people play it, it's such a pretty game. And some of the bosses, I don't want to spoil any of them, but some of the bosses are so fun to watch. It's just insane. So I recommend watching a speed run or something of this game if you're just curious. But it's really cool.
Yeah, this does look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nice. I think that's it. That's it. I think I'm good.
Cool.
I think I'm all talked out. The reason why we had so much news is because we did miss last week's episode, unfortunately. There was a scheduling conflict, and Anth0z was very nice to oblige me on it. But here we are. I think you were. I think it's how the story goes. I'm just reading the script, and that's what it says. So
Okay, sure. Yeah, if you say so.
yeah. So, anyways, so sorry about that. We missed it, but we are here now, and we are catching up with news. So I hope you like our show that is just about news and news and news.
Yes. Yeah. It's
That's
just.
all it is.
And that's the news.
So I do have a topic here. I'm going to go into it. It's not actually that big of a topic, but we are going to start doing single topics for our episodes now, which gives us just a bit more time to breathe and talk about it. So I think it's a little bit better.
Cool.
So here we go. This topic is, have you ever played the game Cookie Clicker?
I have never heard of the game Cookie Clicker.
Never heard of the game Cookie Clicker. There's a game from back in the day. I don't remember the year, but I'm going to throw out a random year here and pretend it's fact, which is 2005. And this game came out, and it was you'd go to, I believe it was cookieclicker.net, and you would go there, and it was the image of just a cookie on a screen, right? And if you clicked the cookie, you got a cookie. So it was Cookie Clicker. You click it, got a cookie, right? And as you clicked it more, you got more cookies. Then suddenly, you get 10 cookies, and you notice that you can buy a cursor. And if you buy a cursor for 10 cookies, that cursor will click the cookie every 10 seconds. So you go, oh, okay. So then you buy a cursor, and now every 10 seconds, it clicks the cookie for you. So then you're like, great. Now I don't have to cook the cookie. Click the cookie.
You don't have to cook the clicky.
Click the clicky. And as the game progresses, you start to buy more things. So there's the cursor. Then eventually you can buy grandmas, and grandmas will start baking cookies 12 at a time for you. After grandmas, you can then buy farms, and you can grow your own cookies. And progressively, the game gets bigger and bigger and bigger as you get more and more and more cookies. So this game was really popular back in the day, and obviously if you understand this formula at all, you know this is an idle clicker. This is a whole genre of games today are built off of this thing. There's another one called Egg Inc. on phone.
What?
That's really popular. There's a really popular series called Venture Capitalist, Adventure Capitalist, I believe, on phones. That's a really big one too. So these clicker games became really popular, and they kind of just skyrocketed. Anyways, that's a little tangent. The thing is, I didn't realize the original game Cookie Clicker is still around today and has been updated ever since. And I watched this interesting video on it not that long ago, and I was like, wow, it's actually huge. It's got a massive following, and people are still playing this game. So they've had games that have lasted 5-6 years where they're still just there watching their cookies.
What?
Yeah. And so I've put it to the test. I've done some spelunking into the Cookie Clicker Discord servers and their Reddits, their subreddits and whatnot, and I've kind of got to the heart of this and really discovered that this game is deep and massive, and it's upgraded now since the game it used to be. So the graphics are a little bit more upgraded. I'll find the website here. I believe it's cookieclicker.com now.
I'm just scrubbing through videos on YouTube.
Oh yeah, it's insane. So it is still the same game. What I explained to you is all still there. You still have to you still have to click a cookie, and you still have to buy your cursors and whatnot, and your grandmas and your farms and your mines, and then you buy upgrades. You buy different types of cookies. You can buy peanut butter cookies and whatnot, and that makes your cookie production even better. And so I was going through the motions and doing all that, and then the weirdest thing happened. The grandmas started saying different things. Now I am going to spoil a bit of this game if anybody there is interested at all, and I highly recommend you play this game if you want to be unspoiled. It is fun, but I'm going to spoil a few things.
Okay.
Cookie Clicker in real life.
In real life. I just had to while I was
That's
so
good.
everybody, while I was searching on YouTube just to see whatever kind of videos I could find about Cookie Clicker, there was one that's just Cookie Clicker in real life. It's 5 seconds that I tried out, and it's exactly what you'd expect.
So eventually, the grandmas start to there's little news headlines that happen while you're playing Cookie Clicker, and it'll be celebrities reveal that they have a only cookie diet, and it'll say funny things, or it'll be child died in a cookie collapse in a mine or something, right? And it's okay, and it's everything becomes cookies after a while, so
Yeah.
the world starts to get taken over by your cookie bakery. Regardless, eventually the grandmas start talking to you in the news headlines. They start saying things like, why don't you call anymore, or something like that, or they'll say really weird things like we rise, and you're like, what? And it's really weird, right? So I never really thought anything of it, but eventually you start buying upgrades that are different colors, and I was buying a color-coded upgrade, and I realized it got to the point where eventually a prompt came on the screen. It was be careful with this item, this upgrade.
Ooh.
It's that's weird. So I bought it because it was +3 cookie production. So I was yeah, of course I'll buy it. So I bought it anyways. and the grandmas started to change, and they started to get progressively more and more creepy. And the game shifted to a totally different style. I searched it up, and I continued on with this, and apparently this is an quote-unquote event in the game, and it's called the Grandma Apocalypse. Now, I don't want to ruin the Grandma Apocalypse for anybody. There's a full storyline that goes into it, and I was like, that's interesting. So I went through that and realized that this game is huge. It's so much more than just clicking cookies. There's storylines, there's events, there's different things, and I got to the point where I was like, okay, that's one event. There's multiple events that happen in this game. I was like, all right. There's seasonal events that happen throughout the game. There's like pets and like Tamagotchi like events that happen throughout this game. And there's more upgrades to follow. There's a new stock market that's not in the game yet that's going to be in the game soon, where you can play the stocks and you can, bet on certain stocks that are high or low with your cookies while you're playing the cookie clicker game.
Yeah.
So it's getting crazier and crazier and crazier, and I can't believe it's still a thing now. But to anybody out there who's a cookie clicker fan, this will be hilarious hearing this, because they'll be like, oh wow, like, I forgot what it was like to not know about this. But to anybody out there who's maybe heard of cookie clicker back in the day, it's still going. Check it out, it's crazy.
So yeah, okay, so I'm curious, like,
I recommend you start your own. You should start your own little cookie clicker farm. Just because it's almost impossible to actually describe it.
I'm just gonna try it for a bit. But
I was gonna send you the link.
Okay. I went to cookieclicker.net and that is not working.
No, it's not. I realized it's actually different. It's the guy's name who made it. Orteil is the guy. And then it's .-net.org/cookieclicker. So it's actually a little bit more intense of a URL. So just type in cookie clicker into Google and it'll take you there.
So essentially, okay, because you're saying how you have to, so you click, for each click you get a cookie, right? Is that how it works?
Every time you click on the big cookie, you get one cookie.
You get a cookie. So
eventually there are upgrades.
Yeah. So I mean, essentially, you could just play the game without upgrades, right? You could just constantly just keep clicking.
Yes.
And like the same.
There's actually a trophy for never clicking your cookie. There's different awards and trophies.
How do you get that? I opened mine and I haven't clicked it yet. How do I?
See, there's another part of the game. I don't want to ruin it, but there's another part of the game that would show you how to do that. You don't have to worry about it at this point. It's what they call late game.
I see. Okay. Well, I am currently
clicking some cookies.
I'm clicking everywhere else but the cookie, in case I'm able to find. Oh! I clicked on something. I'd refresh the page. Okay.
No, I promise you'll have to at least start by clicking that cookie.
Okay. I clicked it once, and now I'm... Achievement unlocked, wake and bake. Nice. I guess that means I made
the game
a cookie.
Has started. You have started clicking your cookies.
Okay.
I've got mine running in the background right now. This is actually a different one because I'm on a laptop right now, which is a different session. And I guess I had this game this is probably a while back. Oh, it tells me there was 116 days ago when I started this one. So this was actually a little while back when I had this up. That's probably when I first was curious about it. Anyways, I'm at 72 million cookies.
Wow. I was scrubbing through one video and it said they were at 340 point something sex decibillion.
So that's what I was going to say, yes.
Something like that.
Septillion and sextillion. So I'm actually currently at 200 sextillion on the one I'm running right now, and that's the one where I went into the rabbit hole and discovered everything. So
but how does this work? Do you have to save, are there save states or something, or can you close the browser?
Yeah. So in the options you can save your file or load from your file, or you can actually just export it as a hash and copy the hash and then paste it in, and it'll keep your game.
Okay.
The thing about Cookie Clicker is it's a single player game, so you don't have to worry about any kind of cheats or anything like that. In fact, on the subreddit, it almost seems like cheats are welcome. People actually have fun with cheating. So,
interesting.
Some people hack it by going into the console, inspecting the element. And I don't know the codes, but there's commands where you can just hack yourself some cookies. I think you actually even get an achievement for hacking cookies. But
what? Okay, I'm inspecting element right now.
Oh yeah. There's achievements and there's shadow achievements. Achievements actually get you something. In this game, you'll notice there's milk underneath the cookie. The more achievements you get, the more milk is underneath the cookie.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you need to get achievements to unlock that milk. And the shadow achievements, which I think you would get for hacking the cookies, they don't give you any milk. So you want the milk.
Let's see. I mean, I could just. Oh, I see. It's constantly refreshing, so I can't even. I'm trying to. Okay, so I found the div. I found the div container where it shows the like the actual number of cookies.
Yeah.
So I clicked it twice. It's showing that there's 2 cookies. I can't actually change.
I can't hack in those cookies.
Darn! I gotta hack some other way.
Here, let me show you a real quick achievement. I'll let you do it yourself though. Just take your browser window.
Yeah.
And shrink it vertically.
Wait. Okay. How much?
You did it. No, bring it back up.
Oh.
Did that not work?
No. Wait.
Oh, dang. Do you have any milk?
No.
Oh, that's why. You need to have milk first.
Wait, so where would I see milk?
Yeah, I guess you have to play further. For some reason, I thought you had milk in the beginning, but I guess you don't.
Okay, maybe I'm just. You know what? Okay, can you hear me clicking right now, on the microphone?
Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna do my super fast ultra clicking.
Do it. There's an achievement for that. If you click fast enough, you can get the achievement.
Oh, starting to cramp.
You know, there's speed runs of this game too. Like some people will speed run this game.
Oh man. So okay, I used to really love playing Super Mario RPG, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So some of the different abilities, it require different inputs to make them work. So for Mario, for example, he either jumps like a whole bunch of times or he shoots a bunch of fireballs. So for jumping, like if you wanted to time it so that you keep jumping over and over again, you have to press, I think it's Y, as soon as you land on the enemy, and then he'll jump again. Otherwise, if you don't press it at the right time, then he stops jumping. So he has this fireball one where you have to keep pressing Y like a whole bunch of times in the span of like 5 seconds. And so it was always like my goal to get like more and more and more each time. And so like I kind of got used to, I can't do it now, but I would have this technique where like I just like vibrate my hand. Like I wouldn't just like my hand wouldn't like go up and down, but it's just vibrating enough to do it.
I did the same thing actually. I got it from Mario Party is where I learned it. And yeah, you're right. It's like this weird, like, I know what you mean. You're like throbbing your finger almost, but like it goes incredibly fast. And I would always win at like the fish catching game at like Mario Party because that.
I'm trying again.
There is an achievement. Okay. If you can do it fast enough, there's an achievement for it.
Oh, okay, I'm tired.
Here, I will also attempt real quick here. I'll just see if I can get the achievement because on this one I haven't got it yet.
Okay, I should take a break. Oh boy. Oh man, game saved. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Anyways, so while Mattbrush is busy with that, I have a cursor and I have a grandma that I can buy, but I don't want to because I want to do it all by myself.
Good job. Good job. I don't know if there's an achievement for clicking the whole way through the game. I don't think that's there might be though. I don't know all the achievements. There actually might be. I'm not really too sure. There's a lot of achievements.
Like I could probably just do that. Like I hit 252 cookies in the span of however long. Right. If I just do that every day for the rest of my life, then I will eventually get to some sort of billion cookies.
There's like some people that like played the base game. They only like got a few cursors, maybe a grandma or two. Then they left the game by accident for like a year or 2 years and came back and they have like almost all the cookies you can get in the game. Like it's just insane. And it's like off of like almost nothing. It's crazy. It is crazy though. This game, it gets faster and faster as you play the game. So the slowest part of the game is actually the very beginning.
Interesting. Oh, you can right click and left click. Oh, but it kind of slows you down if you don't.
There was actually, I can't remember my method. There was a method I had where I was actually going really fast on it. I think I was using both fingers on the one, like going to. I think I was doing that. Oh yeah, and I can hold my mouse in spot. Let's see if I can get that again.
This pod. For the audience,
this is the
most boring episode. No, like they're just playing a video game. But no,
I do recommend though anybody who has not played it, check it out, see what I mean. And if you know what I'm talking about, check it out because it's different now. It's crazy.
So like, okay, right now this looks like. I mean, I look at that cookie and I kind of want to eat it. Before, when it came out, did it not look as good?
The cookie, I don't believe changes. I believe the cookie stays the same.
Okay, good.
There are changes to the cookies, but I don't want to talk about that.
It's a very iconic
there's,
cookie.
there's surprisingly enough a lot of spoilers to this game that I don't want to spoil, so I'll leave it at that. But if you're interested, check it out, and if not, hey, you learned something today.
I'm looking up Cookie Clicker Original.
Oh yeah, the original one is so funny. That's how I remember it in school.
In school, like, were you... Wait.
It's called Cookie Clicker Classic now. Just like RuneScape.
Ah. Cookie Clicker Classic.
Yeah. The original one looks like... Oh, where is it?
Oh, I see. Okay. Like, it's smaller chocolate chips. And it's, like, all gray?
It's like... Yeah, it's all gray, but it should be, like, a very 2D looking cookie. There's no, like, depth to it or anything. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and the grandma, like, it was, like, this random, like, stock... photo of like a grandma.
That's creepy.
Yeah, and like the guy made it in like he made the game not knowing it was going to be a huge internet sensation or anything like that, right? Like he originally made the game just thinking like it was just a funny stupid thing. I think he made it in like 4 hours and then put it up, and then it just started blowing up and he's like, what is going on? So then he's just going all out now, and like it's a real game. I think there's like 3 developers that still work on this game now. Like it's crazy.
So but so the original guy that made it, like, didn't he need to have some sort of server for keeping it up the whole time? If he didn't think it was
sure he had it on his main website. So Orteil or whatever is his name, he's made a few games, so he's got it just on his website. He just would have hosted it, right? So he probably already had a server up with a few other games on it, and then this was just one that he put up for fun and became stupidly popular.
Oh man, that is so interesting.
And like people find crazy exploits. There's a bunch of them online. I was looking them up, and like you can do like different things. I don't want to ruin anything. This actually isn't a spoiler, but like there's magic in the game, and people have found way to like exploit things with magic, also with like random events, and using the magic with the random events to get yourself like crazy cookies at that time. So it's crazy. It's really fun.
And okay, so I think games like these are the reason why people think games are a waste of time.
Yeah, this is a game that literally tells you to like stop playing. Like.
Oh, does it actually say?
Well, pretty much. It's a game that's enforcing you to walk away and let it just play itself. That's like this game is built for you to walk away, come back, and go, oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Good job, game.
Man. That's so funny. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I think of this game as okay. You know how you were saying there's different ways to like hack it, and I'm looking at on YouTube that's a lot of thumbnails are showing, or a lot of videos are saying the same thing, like how to hack or how to blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And even like when I was playing it already, and you were telling me like you're trying to find like a way to use like 2 different fingers. I'm using like different like aspects of my mouse. I feel like that's almost like more of the aspect of the game. It's not how to. It's not beating the game, but it's like what is your way of like finding. I don't know, like what's your unique
how do you
method
play
of,
it?
Yeah, how do you play?
Yeah. And that actually is funny because that's on the subreddits quite a bit. It's like the different player types of Cookie Clicker. So
that's and it's just it's just
random
one
browser game.
One concept.
One random browser game. And it's funny now that I've shown you these idle clicker games. I'm sure you'll see a few of them be like, oh, now I know what that is. Like I see it. So there's a few of them, and they try to disguise themselves, but they're all idle clickers.
I may or may not be getting addicted. I'm just gonna be while we're recording.
I'm gonna guess you're over 500 cookies.
I am now. Yeah, I kind of restarted. So I'm at. Okay, wait. I'll tell you. Okay, I'm at 639, and I'm gonna start now.
Okay.
And now I'm at 700 now. Okay.
Wow, that's fast.
So that's okay, I think.
That's really fast. That's way faster than me. That's good.
That's okay. I mean, like, I can't do it for very long. My fingers get tired.
Yeah. Well, to be clear, you don't actually have to click the cookie all that much.
But I have to. That is my method.
Okay. If that's how you want to play, that's how you want to play. Anyways, that's all I want to say about Cookie Clicker. It's it just happened to be a thing I was going through, and I was like, this is getting crazier and crazier. So then I started like researching it for a topic. I was like going undercover to learn about Cookie Clicker. So
very nice. Okay, so you did say. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I've gone to the deep depths and I've learned everything, and I come back to you now to give you the knowledge of Cookie Clicker.
Nice. And you did say that there are other games. So this was the pioneer of idle clicking.
I believe so. There may have been other instances beforehand, but this was definitely the most popular at the time, and it started what I think is a craze of idle clickers that we've got today. If you type in like idle anything really, idle something onto like the Play Store or something like that, you'll see a whole bunch on there.
I want to find first.
But Adventure
first
Capitalist,
ever.
I think, is one of the more popular ones because it's actually on consoles and stuff.
Yeah, I see. Okay, so this one lists. This one lists Adventure Capitalist, Crusaders of the Lost Idols, Realm Grinder, Cookie Clicker, Clicker Heroes, Forager, Time Clickers, Plantera.
Actually,
Nice.
I think Clicker Heroes, I think, is the same creator. Could be wrong, but I think it is.
Oh, okay. Oh man, I'm so intrigued.
Yep. Interesting concepts.
Very
Yeah.
so simple but so effective.
I
I think that's
know.
also what makes a good game, right?
Exactly.
Like, I think we did talk about this before, that you don't have to make a game that's like super convoluted. You just have to make something that's simple enough that, like, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to have a purpose. Like this one, I don't know what the end game is.
I think there really is no end game. I can tell you now, as somebody who's gone through almost all the events, there's no end game. It keeps going.
Yeah.
It just always keeps going. But the thrill is still there, which is weird.
So yeah, exactly. So there's like the thrill. It's just people find fun in sometimes like tedious or redundant things.
Mm-hmm.
There's different reasons why people enjoy video games, and this just happens to make the mark for one of them.
Yep.
For a game that took 4 hours to create. So.
Well, I mean, now it's been like constant like development updates and all that.
Oh, sure.
But
Yeah.
you're right. The same core concept is still there, though. So
Yeah.
Yep.
So, wow, cool.
there you go.
Man.
Another random one about video games. This reminds me of Dwarf Fortress. It was kind of the same thing.
Oh yeah, it does remind me of that a little
Yeah.
bit in a way.
Anyways, that's all I got to say about that.
Cool.
And that's our topic of the day.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
No problem. Anth0z, on that note, if the audience wanted to find you, where could the audience find you?
You can find me at orteil.dashnet.org/cookieclicker. I will definitely be There's a cookie growing. What's it doing?
Growing.
Why is it just
Oh, click it. Click the cookie.
frenzy cookie production time 7 for 1 minute and 17
Click,
seconds?
click,
Hold on. Okay.
click.
Achievement unlock golden cookie.
Anth0z has now unlocked the golden cookie, which gave him Click Frenzy, which is one of the best golden cookie modes you could get.
Is it actually?
Yeah, it gives you so many cookies.
Oh,
Click.
it's for 1 minute and 17 seconds. I can't.
Click.
I gotta switch fingers.
Click away.
I need more hands. Oh, jeez.
So he's getting cookies at a rate of like 7 times more or 77 times more. I can't remember actually. But he's getting cookies at a much higher rate than
I'm
he
only
normally would
halfway-
be getting cookies.
I'm only halfway through. Oh, I gotta switch.
I love I didn't actually understand what was happening when he said a cookie was growing on his screen. It was like a cookie's growing on it. What?
Achievement unlocked. Clicktastic. Achievement
There
unlocked.
you
Making
go,
some dough.
Sir. Good job. You did it.
My wife is probably like, "What the heck is he doing in there?" I'm getting cramps. I'm sweating.
Oh my god.
Okay, my time is almost over. I promise.
It's
I'll stop.
It's like
after
watching
this.
the microwave, you know? You're almost there. It's like 10 more seconds.
Come on. Oh, seriously, it hurts. Oh, okay, I'm done.
Nice.
Okay.
Good job. How many cookies you got?
I mean, did it? Okay, I'm at 1,277.
Nice.
But like, did it actually do something?
You got Click Frenzy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was the cursor icon, looked like this. It was gold.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't pay attention. I was just looking at
I
the
know.
cookie.
It's all good. I can't remember the exact mathematical number to it or anything like that, but that is the best golden cookie reward you can get.
Oh, I'm so tired now.
Yeah.
I am
Good job.
spent.
Good job, sir. That was admirable.
Thank you. Should I save this?
I'd keep it. Why not?
Okay.
Keep it going.
Save. Oh, it saves automatically. So that
Oh,
means
yeah.
like if I close the browser and come back to it, it's cached?
It can, yes, but you can also lose data. There's been stories of people losing data, which can suck. So I would recommend save the file, then
Like
you can
export
close
it.
Yeah.
Oh, like export or not export?
I would export.
Okay.
Then it's like a notepad document that just kind of comes out.
Okay, export. Oh, I
And
see.
then you can close and come back. Now, to titillate you a little bit, you can eventually get to the point where if you close the window, it still counts cookies for you.
Huh?
I won't explain more, but
Ooh.
that is available.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That is, whoa, this is a really weird file save.
I know.
It's a whole bunch of gibberish.
Yeah, it's just a hash.
I can barely move my arm to get to the keyboard now. Cookie clicker.
So if you want to find Anth0z, that's where you find him. If you want to find me, you can me at Twitter. I don't even think you can find Anth0z. I think he's gone. Where can we find you realistically, though, Anth0z? Where would we actually find you?
Okay. Well, if you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at Anth0z1. That's at Anth0z and 1.
And if you want to find me, you can find me at Mattbrush Gaming on Twitter. You can also find this podcast in video format on YouTube at Mattbrush Gaming as well. If you want to listen to this podcast, though, instead on audio format, then go ahead on any of your favorite podcasting platforms and type in the Scumm Bar Podcast, and you'll find us there. If you would like to send us an email, send it to thescummbarpodcast@gmail.com. And please leave us a like or a subscribe or a comment and let us know what you thought about this episode. If you want to hear more of Anth0z's pain as he goes through Cookie Clicker. Or
tell us about your pain. Tell us about your experiences. Tell us what kind of mouse you use. Does it have a certain kind of like
I'm using a Dell,
or resistance?
regular Dell. No, no tricks on my end. Honestly, I just give up. If it hurts, I don't really keep going. I just stop. But it's admirable to see your efforts.
I'm using for anybody who wants to know my setup. I'm using
Cookie Clicker setup.
My Razer Mamba 16000 DPI wired/wireless mouse, and I have a Steel Series medium-sized cloth mouse pad. That's my setup.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, thank you all for listening. And Anth0z, I know you would like to give a review for Cookie Clicker, so why don't you give us your 30-second review?
Cookie. 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 Cookie.
That's good. Good review.
Yep.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Okay. Cookie, everybody.